All right, guys, welcome back. We are in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, at the 2025 NRTCCA conference. I am here with Insight LPR, Jose Patino. Patino, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I want to
yeah,
make sure I got that right.
Yeah.
Jose Patino. And he's former MSP, baby.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, state police in the house.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's Michigan. Let's get it straight.
Michigan,
You know?
the Michigan State
The
Police.
Michigan. I was born here.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. You still got it.
I still got it. Yeah. That's Flint, if you guys are wondering.
Yeah.
Born in Flint.
Yeah.
But how you been, brother?
Good, man. Good. Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
We had you on the podcast with the Two Cops, One Donut at one time, and now we're getting you on what we're calling the brief with the NRTCCA. Yeah,
nice. Yeah, appreciate it.
My buddy Chris in the back, he came up with that. So.
No,
I
it's
was
nice.
like, it's perfect because we just have these brief little interviews
Yeah.
so people can know what to see and expect from everybody that's out here.
It's always good to see you.
Yeah.
I
So
appreciate it.
today we're focusing on our partners. So you guys are a partner, and Insight's one of the OGs.
Yeah.
They have been with us since the beginning.
Yeah, for here and then with the conference and starting out with the original founding members. And,
So on behalf of the NRTCCA, we want to thank you guys for being such great partners and always being involved in the space. But you guys are LPR, but you guys have some big things coming down the line that I got a sneak peek on, and I don't know if you guys have announced it yet, so I'm not going to say it. I'm going to ask you, what's the latest and greatest you got coming out this year that we can expect?
Yeah, we're an open book, right? I mean, you're not trying to hide too much. But, we got still pushing with the integration stuff with the Fusus or something like that. We're big on open integration. So the fact that if you have your LPR data, it's your data, right? So you're free to use it how you want. We give you all your data integrating. So we're still pushing that, creating new APIs for that to make sure you're getting what you want.
Okay.
One of the things we're doing right now is some long-range LPR stuff. We're in Dallas.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, getting ready for the World Cup, right? It's big especially for your area, for policing agencies. You're having to do less with more. So we're getting into that long-range stuff, so we don't have to deal with the DOT permits as much. So using buildings to reach out onto the freeway. So in Dallas right now, we're grabbing 3-4 lanes of traffic from like a parking structure or a hotel or something like that. So we don't have to deal with DOT. So we're doing that in Dallas and in Michigan. Got kind of 2 test sites going right now.
Okay, that's a game changer. There's nobody that has that I've seen.
No, and it's not easy, right? And it's a project I took on about a year ago, and obviously the whole Insight team's been working on it, and it's not an easy thing, but it's pretty awesome. I come from the interdiction world, and so that freeway data, point A to point B, when it's the easiest way to get, the smuggler or, the drug load, human smuggling, whatever it is. And so that's really key to start getting that data, because as you look around the country, there is a black hole, right? When you start looking at freeway data, you come to Atlanta. Yeah, you come to Atlanta. Of course, they got LPRs everywhere, right? But then, criminals are driving through, Texas, and they're driving through New Kansas and Iowa and Missouri. So there's a lot of gaps there.
Yes.
So we're trying to close those.
Yes, absolutely. Because even our bad guys in Texas, Fort Worth area, they know as soon as I jump on the freeway, like that's the blind spot. Yeah. There's nobody checking me out here. So
yeah. As you look around, you see a lot of freeway shootings happening.
Yeah, road rage and stuff.
Yeah, we got a ton in Detroit.
Yeah.
They just, I don't know if they just want to go out and spray bullets around or whatever. And I'm sure you get it in your area too. So, so it's an exciting thing, right, to get that extra data.
Long range LPR.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. I told you, when he told me about that, I was like, what? Yeah. That is new. That is, you hear it. LPR is kind of stale now. Yeah. Everybody's got them. How are you going to change LPR? Yeah. Oh, now it can zoom out?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then to a point, you can use it as video too, right? And so in Minneapolis, what we're seeing is they're putting it on like a surveillance trailer, and so they can put the surveillance trailer. Say you have an issue in a parking lot, right, where they all come together at 1 a.m. doing donuts, doing whatever they're doing, and then maybe a shooting rings out or something like that. Well, you can set this camera; it will get everybody coming in and out, and then you put it in a patrol mode, and it'll start scanning the parking lot, grabbing some plates for you, and then reset itself back to that roadway. Okay. So it'll grab that extra data.
Hell yeah.
So Minneapolis is loving it.
We say this phrase a lot, game changer. It is. It really is a game changer. And you're giving police, you're giving local communities, businesses the ability to help fight back and in a different way that is, like you said, it's a blind spot. It's very hard for us to get coverage on that. So seeing that, and the one thing about Insight from my personal experience, y'all, their cameras quality second to none. I don't know anybody that has better nighttime reads that I've seen so far, and clarity. Like this are two things that if you go with the Insight LPR, it's one of the things that I've learned about y'all and love. And now that you guys are going to have a, not to take anything away from any other LPRs, you guys know how we are. We're agnostic, but if I'm going to brag about things that I've learned over time, is you guys' quality is just top notch, and I can't wait to see what you guys are doing with this zoom in long range. LPR.
Yeah. You always, like you said, I don't talk bad about anybody. When I was at Michigan, we used different LPR companies, and so I got experience in all of them, and everybody's got good stuff, and then so where do you separate yourself, right? So we have the commercial data. Yeah,
your commercial mobile data stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So we have that, and then you try to do it in service and in customer support. When you call, we answer. Yep. You're not getting a voicemail, or you're not sending an email off into the abyss. So especially on the support side, you're calling, you're talking to a police officer. Yes. A guy that's been in your boots and been through it and knows how to use the LPR and has had to use it in his career and that kind of thing. So so those are the few things we're trying to separate apart. With the open integration, service, support, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Please, members, do not underestimate your commercial mobile data. Yeah. That is critical information, and in a world where we are so heavily inundated with all this data, that's one of the most important things that you're going to want to have. It sounds like Insight's taking the lead on that.
Yeah, because the thing is, fix is great, right? Crime happens, you see him go by. Where's the arrest in his head?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you see him driving up and down the road after he commits a crime, but where's he sleeping? Where's he visiting? That kind of stuff in that commercial mobile. But it's giving you that. Yeah, you saw him leave the crime. Now you can put him somewhere. Yeah. And run that plate and put him in a parking spot or put him in a driveway. So, good stuff, man. Yeah.
Well, brother, before we get you out of here, one of the things I want to know is what exactly are you looking forward to seeing this year with all this stuff going on at our conference?
You know what? It's always awesome to see the new technologies come out. And so we were over at one of your other vendors. It's here, one of your sponsors. And just, I look back at policing.
When you were a cop?
I was telling them, I said, when I was at state police and we would write tickets, right? So as troopers, you go out, write 10, 15 tickets, right? You had to go back to the post and log those in a book. Mm-hmm. And then that way the sergeant could see where you were writing the tickets and all that, or where you would make an arrest. So we had an arrest book. I was over at one of your vendors, and he typed in a license plate, and it showed crashes, showed tickets, showed, he zoomed in on an area, showed all the complaints that were there. It showed how many officers, at each complaint, showed a body cam, all with one click.
Something that would have taken us weeks.
Oh, yeah. How many times did you send a request out for somebody's video footage, right, from a patrol car or something like that, and you waited and waited, and you needed
for it to be office in the mail system.
You'd been on a call or whatever, so you had multiple agencies there, and you're like, hey, I need your video footage, for the complaint to go to the prosecutor or whatever. You waited weeks, and now you just you hit a share button and it's in there, you download it and zip it off, and so it's incredible. I mean, you guys put on just an unbelievable conference, and when I was a police officer, I was traveling around to the conferences just like every other officer, and then now in this private side, now I'm actually working at them, and you guys are top notch. I was at a conference 2 weeks ago. I'll be at another one, in 2 weeks, and so this one's run very well. So you guys do a great job.
Well, I appreciate it, brother. Well, I know I took you away from your booth, and you're supposed to be working.
That's all right. I'm good with that.
But I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, everybody out there listening. Again, check out Insight LPR, another option for license plate readers for you, and on your commercial mobile data side, go check them out. See if they're good for you. See if it's a good fit. Jose, sorry, I like to call you Joe.
I've been called worse.
Thank you for joining me, brother. I appreciate you.
Take care.